Hello everyone, welcome back to Sade's Tarot Tea. So today guys, I am so excited to be doing a reading on Zendaya and Tom Holland. Zendaya and Tom basically came out and said that they were engaged. I feel like Zendaya has been engaged to him for a minute. Not that long, but I feel like they've been engaged and they've just been keeping it under wraps, you know, for their own privacy. You know, Zendaya is a Virgo, and I don't know what Tom is. I actually don't know what Tom's zodiac sign is, and nor do I know what his chart is. And I don't know Zendaya's chart. So I did a reading on her back in like, gosh, I can't even remember. I'll put the date right here when I did her reading, and I'll... Hey guys, just cutting in early here. So before I show this clip of me reading on Zendaya and Tom, I actually forgotten. I knew I did a reading on Zendaya, but I usually go back and rewatch my readings, but I actually didn't do that this time. I forgot that I did a reading on Tom as well with her. I didn't go into details like I wish I would have. I wish I would have pulled more on their relationship or what they were becoming, because when I read on them, it didn't feel that serious. And as I'm editing, guys, I'm noticing that they got together in 2020, or they started talking in 2020. At least that's what Google says. So it makes sense, because when I was picking up on them, and you guys will see that in this next clip, in this clip, you guys will see that I wasn't getting very serious energy yet, because they felt very new still, or like they were trying to figure out what they were. And you know, I don't want to give too much away in this reading, but you'll see why you'll see why I'm saying this. But it just felt like it was really slow to move, their relationship. So when I pulled on them back in oh gosh, I can't even remember, that was like 5 years ago. I pulled on them in... Oh, I'm sorry, guys. They got together in 2021, excuse me. But I read on them in 2020. So they were not fully official yet. Now, if I'm wrong on that, guys, please correct me in the comment section below. But I feel like, you know, that makes sense. You know, it kind of aligns to me. Like, it's aligning. So, yeah, they were not fully serious yet when I read on them back in 2020. So you guys will see that in this next clip, and why I didn't go into details about their relationship or what they would have become. I wish I would have, but I wasn't really reading on couples like that. Like I said in this video, I wasn't really reading on couples like that. I think I said that in this video. But yeah, so my bad. But I wish I would have like predicted marriage for them, but I didn't. So yeah, but I hope you guys enjoy this clip regardless, and I hope you enjoy the rest of this reading. Let's get back into it. Bye, guys. A lot of you guys asked me about Zendaya and Tom, right? So I'm definitely seeing them, that they're talking. They've flirted. There's been some flirting, a lot of flirting, meeting of the families, you know, at award shows and passing, but I'm not seeing anything serious happen between them. I'm not seeing them be together, guys. They're not together. Zendaya is like, I feel like he is too, Tom. I think that's his name, right, guys? He's like way too busy. He's so busy. If we do see them out, so they could have, you know, gotten together, flirted, dated. I am seeing them talking. I am seeing some form of exchanging, maybe even sexual exchange being present here. But I'm not actually seeing that they've made it official, or that they would call each other boyfriend and girlfriend. It's more so like, we're flirting. This is what it is. We're having fun. That's what it feels like to me. It feels very, up in the air, so to speak. If you guys want to go ahead and click on that for the end credit, when the end credits roll, like you'll see like that I did a reading on Zendaya. So it was mainly about her, you know, her acting career, and like her playing you know, Rue and Euphoria. I didn't really get into her love life, because at that time I wasn't really heavily reading on couples. I think I would touch on them a little bit, but or like people that they've dated in the past, but I didn't really get into their reading, or their love reading like I do now. So I'm really excited to be reading on Zendaya. I'm so excited to see if her and Tom are gonna last. They've been together for a good minute, and I've been wanting to do, I always say this, guys, but it's true. I've been wanting to do a reading on Zendaya and Tom, but I just have not gotten around to it. And I always felt like they were gonna get married. Like, I did always feel that, or at least engaged. So we're gonna see what comes out for them. We're gonna see where their energy's at. We're gonna look at their birth chart and see if they're compatible, what I think about it, if you guys are interested. And if you would like to know more about Zendaya and Tom Holland, then please keep on watching. So before I get started talking my shit, I wanted to ask you guys for a little favor. If you could please subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell for when your bitch pull up. Ding ding, bitch. Okay, and go on and follow me on TikTok. I don't know for sure, guys, if it's gonna get banned. I feel like it's looking like it is gonna get banned, but I'm also picking up that I've been picking up on Elon. He might end up buying it, and they just talked about today how he may end up, China is trying to negotiate with him on purchasing the app, and I've been feeling Elon being talked about to purchase the app. I wish I would have done a reading on TikTok, but again, it's one of those things I just never, I'm not able to get around to. But I do feel like TikTok is going to take a heavy, weird shift. Even if it doesn't get picked up by Elon, it's going to later, we'll see it get picked up or reshaped or reformed in some way. I may still be on TikTok. We'll see. I don't know if Elon gets on it. I probably won't be on it like that, guys, because I really don't support him like that. Just saying. You guys will catch me mainly on Instagram and YouTube, and that's where I'll stick. This is where, you know, the social platforms I'll stick with until I get onto another app. I believe there's an app called Lemonade that I might check out, so, you know, we'll see what I do with that. But yeah, guys, follow me on my other social medias for more content from me, and I want to do more zodiac readings and really talk to you guys. So please follow me on those if you want to, you know, keep up with me. Okay. So guys, I am so excited to get into Zendaya and Tom. I have a picture of them pulled up. They are so cute. And can we just give it up to Tom for being a short king? Okay, he's not afraid to date a taller woman, and I freaking love that for him. I love that Zendaya is not afraid to date a shorter dude. I don't know why people are so against dating shorter people. Yeah, I see nothing wrong with it, you know, and I'm so glad that, you know, Zendaya doesn't, you know, that's so cool that she doesn't mind dating a shorter king, okay? So yeah, guys, let's go ahead and get started on reading on Zendaya and Tom. I'm very curious about them and what will happen with them and if they'll go ahead and last. It's not to be negative, okay, guys, or rain on their parade. So I want to first start off with doing a love oracle message for them. I feel like we're going to see what the energy is between these two. I'm so curious about them. So let's see what their love guides and their spirit guides have to say about their connection. Okay, guys, so I don't know much about Tom and Zendaya. They do keep their relationship very private, and I actually haven't really looked into them as a couple. Like, I follow Zendaya a little bit. I followed her on the Disney Channel when she did Shake It Up. I kind of watched some episodes, like my sister was more into it. So Zendaya was more of like my sister's generation growing up. But I followed her journey as far as like her being in Euphoria. She was in there. I've seen other things that she's been in. I just can't remember right now. Oh, I just saw The Challengers a while, I think it was like last year. I saw The Challengers when it came out. I thought she was phenomenal in that movie. Zendaya is a class act. Like, I didn't see her in the Greatest Showman? Is that what it's called, guys? Wow. I love musicals, and surprisingly I have not seen her in that movie, but apparently she did her own stunts in that movie, that's very cool, you know, that she did her own stunts. So the first card that I'm getting is chemistry. So automatically they had chemistry. I feel like they built their connection over time. I feel like it was something that they really, like, even though from the jump they had instant chemistry, they really cultivated their relationship through, it feels like through a friendship. I know that they did Spider-Man together, and I actually have not seen Spider-Man, so I have not seen them on screen together, but I'm feeling like, guys, that they instantly had a great connection. And you know, it was like one of those rare connections where we talk about that in movies. Well, no pun intended, because they're both actor and actresses. But I feel like they had that on-screen and off-screen romance, and it really translated throughout their friendship and throughout their life. I am seeing with the forgiving and learning card that there was some letting go and like releasing traumas or past misconceptions, communications. So this connection, yes, although it was one of those rare instant connections, they actually still worked on their relationship over time and began to really grow the friendship more so. That's what it feels like. It feels like even though they liked each other instantly, they wanted, even though they grew the connection very slowly, it feels like they also wanted to grow a friendship as well, even if the chemistry was very instantaneous. Like, I feel like they were like magnets to each other. They were, and they still are like magnets to each other. I feel like they get along very well. I feel like they don't argue like that. And if they do argue, it feels like, which is rare, I feel, because I don't know, I'm curious to see what Tom's sign is. But I feel like they have taught each other a lot, you know, in this connection. They've been very open-minded with each other, and they've communicated a lot of problems that they were having with each other in the relationship, even if they both tried to move on. I'm seeing that they both still came back together and built their relationship and made it stronger over time. And I'm also feeling like this was not as easy of a connection as people think it was. Like I keep saying, I feel like they really grew their relationship and really nurtured the friendship as well, because they see a lot of themselves in each other, and they see a lot of even the bad things they see in each other, the things that they need to work on, they see in each other. That's really beautiful to see that. I love seeing that in a connection that even though the chemistry at first was very strong and it could have been just very sexual, they really made sure to grow and not base it off of lust. Do you guys know what I mean? Even though in the beginning it feels like it was lust, but they slowed down and let go of other people, let go of grudges they were holding even with each other. They let go of, they had to learn to let go a lot is what I'm feeling, and really zero in on their relationship and make it private and really cultivate and build together, cultivate each other's talents, their boundaries. They're very big. It feels like they're very big on that. Now, guys, I'm getting the trust card is in the reverse. So I am feeling like they are working through their trust issues with each other, and this is part of the forgiving and learning card. I feel like they both had to really learn to trust each other, and that comes with any relationship, of course. We have to learn to like trust trust the person that we're with. We have to learn to let go of, which is what I was saying, let go of past things that have happened. And forgiving, I feel like one of them holds grudges and they don't forgive very easily. They may forgive, but they don't forget, right? And I don't know, I feel like that's probably Zendaya, because Zendaya is a Virgo, and Virgos, they're big on, I will remember what you did, but I'll forgive you, but I'm not gonna forget what you did. Like, I'm gonna say it feels like it's Zendaya, but we'll see. Tom could move the same way because they actually feel like they mirror each other a lot. So I'm curious if one of them has like Libra, because I feel like the other one mirrors the other one a lot. Like, I don't know, I just keep feeling that. And trust was a big thing for them. Trust was something that they really had and still do have to overcome, and they're both in Hollywood, so of course that's gonna happen. When one does a movie with somebody, they have to trust that the other person doesn't fall for that person that their co-star, or just anybody coming in between their relationship. I'm seeing that they had to really lock in and make their relationship work, because there was a lot of people trying to come in between them, or they weren't sure if they wanted to stay together at certain periods. And because of this and because of them, I'm wondering if there was like some type of breakup, or you know, that happens, you know, of course, you guys, that happens. So if there was a breakup that happened, which I do feel like there was a breakup or back and forth of some sort, they had to really learn to let go of that and trust each other and know that they are going to follow through in this marriage, that they, or relationship, they are going to follow through, and they're still building that. I'm curious if one of them is saying we need to go to like a marriage counselor just to make sure, you know, if one is locking in and is like, or they're both doing that, you know, it feels like they both may be doing this where they want to seek marriage counseling. Or I do talk about this a lot on my channel, guys, but it feels like they go to somebody, or they, if they're both religious, they go to like a pastor or something, or they put God first, or, you know, they both have the same type of beliefs or morals in what they want in a relationship and how to build that trust with each other. It is talking about that they're still working on building that trust with each other, and that's something that doesn't just happen. Like it doesn't just, you have to keep working at building that trust with your partner, that it's not going to just, you know, the chemistry is great, but like, what are you going to do to hold that trust, to hold that chemistry, to keep learning from each other, to let go, and to keep forgiving each other for things? You know, it feels like that they are working through those things. They are working through, even though I have these cards in the reverse, and I'll show you guys my cards, but I do have these cards in the reverse, and I have chemistry in the upright. So it's like, yeah, we have this chemistry and it's great, and we love that we just get along. We love that we can both coexist in the same space and still be excited to see each other. Still, that doesn't go away. There's like a lot of childlike energy in their relationship, and you know, it's talking about that they're learning to build on that more and trust each other more. And yeah, their relationship isn't perfect, you know, their relationship's not perfect, but they're working on, no relationship is, right? But they're working on building that, and they're working on letting go of their past traumas, past baggages with each other and with their own stuff, you know, and cultivating the relationship, and it's building into something beautiful. So far that's what I'm getting. I do feel like, you know, they are not shy when it comes to like expressing their feelings for each other. I feel like they're very expressive with each other, and you know, they do the most like cute things for each other. They do the most romantic things for each other, and they're both not prideful. That is something I do feel like, yes, one may hold a grudge, but they're both not very prideful when it comes to like how much they care about each other, how much they love each other. They both put in the same amount of work to keep building on their relationship and letting the other person know, and to reassure the other person. I still feel like of course they're going to go through tests, because true love here is in the reverse. So I feel like that's talking about like them in the past needing to figure out, which I already talked about, them needing to figure out if they were the one for each other, you know, and all relationships go through that. But it's talking about they did have a period where they were like, okay, we have chemistry and we're great as like friends, but are we supposed to be together? You know, like they had those hard conversations of how far their chemistry, how far, you know, their commitment to each other is supposed to go, and expressing that and not being afraid to keep expressing that even through, you know, adversities, right guys? So it's talking about they still need to continue to do that, and just to keep loving on each other, and to not, you know, to not be ashamed of anything from their past that they've gone through, to keep pushing forward, and that they will keep overcoming if they allow themselves to. Everything requires work. It doesn't matter how much you guys have chemistry, it requires work. We know that, right? So it's so cute right here. Worth waiting for and calling in your soulmate. I feel like they both feel like they waited for each other. I feel like they feel like they both have known each other in a past life. They feel like they are each other's soulmate. They feel like they get each other. They feel like they met at the right time, and that their relationship has just, even through the bad parts, it's grown so much. Like they've learned a lot from each other. That's what I keep hearing. Like I keep hearing, I feel like this is both of them, but I keep hearing more so Zendaya. Like feeling like she's learned a lot from Tom, even in her career. Like, she's learned a lot. Like, she feels like she's learned a lot, and Tom feels like this too. But they feel like they also work well together when it comes to like putting their heads together and planning their business moves. It's not like a business relationship, but because they don't want to bring their work home. I feel like they try to leave that at the door when they come home, they leave that at the door. And I feel like there's been healthy amounts of being separate and even living separately. Like, I feel like they lived separately for a minute, and then they tried their best to take it very slow with a lot of things, and really listen to each other and hear the other one out when the other one wasn't ready. It was hard, there were of course like really hard moments that they had, but for the most part I'm seeing, guys, really positive cards. Like, even my reversals don't feel bad. Like, it just feels like they had problems like a normal couple, and that they were working through it, because even when they broke up, like, they were like, no, that's my person, like, we're gonna end up together. I know we're gonna end up together. Like, somebody was very sure. I feel like this was Tom, like, Zendaya too, but I feel like Tom was very sure. Like, he's like, that's the person I'm gonna marry, that's the person that I'm gonna be with, I'm gonna put a ring on that girl. Like, whether he knew early or he knew in the middle of the relationship. And I feel like he pursued Zendaya. Like, he really pursued her, and she was giving him a run for his money too. She did not make it easy on him, guys. Like, she was giving him a run for his money, because she's like, I want to see if you were able to like be with me, to really, really be with me. And their chemistry, now a lot of this feels like it happened organically. It still feels like, even though she did test him, it feels like it was organic tests. Like, it was tests that came up that were necessary. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't like force, him to like pass something. She's not about that. She's like, whether if this is meant to be, you will rise to the occasion, right? Good on you, Zendaya. There's so many times like us women, we try to put our significant other through tests, and okay, it's okay to sometimes, I guess, do that, but like, you should let things happen like naturally. Just sit back and observe and see if your partner is going to pass those tests that God, places in front of them, right? That's what it feels like Zendaya did. It feels like Zendaya was like, I don't need to put you through my own personal test. Like, I want to see what you do when conflict arises. I want to see what you do if we break up. And I'm gonna let that happen naturally if it is supposed to happen. Like, she wasn't forcing or sabotaging, is what I mean, guys. Zendaya wasn't like sabotaging. She learned early on how to properly love your man, how to properly love more so yourself. And I think because she has that self-love, and express your love too is like her having confidence in herself and expressing to herself and showing up for herself. Like, I will be okay. I will move on if I need to. And if he is meant to be in my life, it will come back around. And I'm seeing that they have moments like that where they broke up, and Zendaya was like, or Tom, I feel like this was more so Zendaya, but I feel like she was like, if it's meant to be, I'm not going to chase. I'm not going to force it. If it's meant to be, it will come back around. I fucking love that for Zendaya. It's that Virgo energy, man. They just know. They just be on it like that. I love that. But it's talking about that they both knew that they were soulmates. Like, they both knew that they were going to end up together. More so one, I feel like it's Tom more, I feel. But yeah, they both knew that no matter what, they were both worth waiting for and showing up for. So that's so far, guys, what I'm getting in their energy with my love oracle cards. Beautiful energy so far. We'll see what more I get when I pull on them. I do have some questions, and let's go ahead and move into those. I know you guys are curious to hear, so I don't want to spend too long on this, but let's go ahead and see how they feel about each other, their charts, and if they will go ahead and last. Hey guys, so before I get started moving more into the reading, I just want to say that this reading is alleged and for entertainment purposes only, and should be taken as such unless Zendaya or Tom come out and say that what I have said is accurate. Okay, so please take everything I say with a grain of salt, and let's go ahead and get started. I have Zendaya and Tom's chart pulled up, and automatically, guys, I'm so excited to jump into this. but automatically they're both Mercury driven people, so already we know that the communication has to be on 10, bro. Okay, if the communication between these two is not up to par, then this relationship could crumble very fast. So I'm already feeling, from when I pulled the love spread for them, my love spread for them, I'm already feeling that communication was a big thing for them. They really sat down and talked about their goals, talked about where they saw their, you know, their life headed, even separately, like cultivated that friendship as well throughout the relationship, and as well, like, took their time in some ways too. Like, they didn't even rush like into the relationship. So like, once the other person like knew that they liked the other person, I feel like they still, you know, maybe were slow to tell them. I want to look at their Mercuries, but I'm going to look at their birth chart right now and see what else I get. But let's go ahead and look at their chart. I'm going to go ahead and pull up Zendaya's chart first. So Zendaya is a sun in Virgo. Her moon is in Taurus, her Mercury is in Libra, her Venus is in Cancer, and her Mars is in Cancer. She is an Aquarius rising, okay? And then with Tom, he's a Gemini. And as I was picking up on him, guys, he started to feel like an air sign. So it's cool to see that he's a Gemini. I almost wanted to say he was a Gemini, actually. So he's a sun in Gemini. His moon is in Sag. His Mercury is in Taurus. His Venus is in Gemini retrograde. And his Mars is in Taurus. So he has 2 Taurus placements. And Zendaya has Cancer, so automatically, and she has her moon in Taurus, so automatically, guys, I'm seeing that their chart, I was feeling Libra from one of them too. If you guys remember, I said that. I said it feels like one of them has Libra, and Zendaya has Libra in her Mercury. So with that Taurus and the Cancer, they automatically are, like, I feel like they go. Now, these 2 placements can be considered very stubborn, but you know, I feel like with communication and persistency, I feel like, and, you know, taking their time with each other, they both have Cancer and Taurus. So I'm seeing that there was some time taken to really get to know each other, to really cultivate their relationship, even though they both knew that they had feelings for each other. They weren't quick to like rush into it. Like, yes, they had instant chemistry. Yes, there probably was sparks and excitement. They even probably maybe fooled around like a little early than they expected to, but I am seeing that they both have really slow moving Mars energies. Zendaya has her Mars in Cancer, Tom has his Mars in Taurus. Those 2 right there automatically are evenly yoked. Like I've said on my channel too, that I've noticed that Taurus and Cancers get along very well. So when you have these 2 placements in the Mars, I feel like, you know, I feel like Tom calms her emotions. Like when Zendaya is feeling very emotional, he's able to be level-headed and to help her work through her emotions and cater to her and just be very patient with her and understanding, and just sit there and, like, you know, comfort her and let her know that it's going to be okay. You know, Tom has a very gentle energy, even though he has like his Sagittarius moon, which makes him like nervous. It makes him sometimes want to run from confrontation. He does have, like, you know, a very, you know, I feel like Zendaya doesn't scare him too much with her emotions. I'm seeing too with Zendaya, she caters a lot to Tom. She's very, very housewifey, okay? This is very housewifey energy. She has Libra and Cancer, Taurus. Come on, man, Virgo. That's very housewifey. She likes to be, she protects it though. She has her rising in Aquarius, so she doesn't want people in her business like that. She appears very aloof in her relationships, but when she's behind closed doors, she's very, very sweet. I mean, she's sweet in general, we can see that, but with the Aquarius, it doesn't allow people in to see how much she caters into her relationships, because she protects that. Even with her Virgo, she protects it. But I'm seeing that she's very understanding, very much, she caters to Tom. She's patient with him. She's very understanding of his logics. Like, I feel like he's always all over the place with his thoughts, and he's very spontaneous, and she likes that, because I feel like Zendaya can get into her own routine, get in her head a lot, be very what's the word, work driven. And not saying that Tom's not. He's very work driven because he has Taurus and his Sag, you know, and his Gemini. He's very work driven. He loves being, you know, he's very private too, but he's able to be very silly and out in the public, whereas Zendaya is more of like a homebody. Tom feels like he's more of like, let's go out and have fun and like be spontaneous and go on spontaneous date nights, and he likes to keep things very exciting and romantic and fun. Whereas Zendaya feels like she can be like that too in some ways, but not as spontaneous and free moving as Tom. And I feel like Tom helps her with that. He helps her not be so structured. He can be very structured too because of his Taurus, but he doesn't like to be in that energy for too long because it becomes boring and mundane. So he likes to get out of his comfort zone. And Zendaya is open to that. She's very, very open to that. She likes to go out with him. She likes to have romantic date nights with him. But she also likes to be home a lot. She's a homebody. I keep feeling that from her. So it's about him balancing that with her and respecting that. And he's had to learn because they feel very young still. So he's had to learn to be okay with just being in and relaxing and not having to, even when they're home, I feel like he has to be around the house like doing stuff and helping her. Or, you know, he does of course have moments where he's, you know, relaxed and quiet and to himself. But he feels like he feels like an introvert extrovert, so an ambivert. Like he feels like he has to also have moments where he's social, but with his family and like the right people like have to be around him because he doesn't like just being around anybody. That's where I feel like Tom can become a homebody. So he is a good balance of a homebody. I won't say he's completely like wanting to be out a lot because of his Taurus. Like he feels like he does like to be home and be with Zendaya and be a homebody. And I also feel like Tom wants to be a dad. Like I feel like he's ready, or he's getting ready to be a dad, or he wants to be a dad soon. So I won't be surprised if Zendaya gets pregnant soon. I won't be surprised if if after they're married or throughout their engagement or whatever, it turns out that she's pregnant. I think that she's trying to prolong it, but I feel like she's gonna have a baby. So low-key guys, I hope she has twins. So far that was a little rundown of their chart. Let's go ahead and get into the questions. So guys, I'm mainly just gonna keep this about Zendaya and Tom. I'm not so much gonna get into like their career or anything. I just want to kind of keep it about them. So yeah, let's see, how does Zendaya feel about Tom? Guys, do they live in LA? Because I know that there's the fires. My prayers go out to people that are in LA that are being affected, that have been affected by you know, the fires going on in LA, but or just around that area. But I'm already picking up that Zendaya wants to move. So I either move in with Tom. I don't know if they live together. I already kind of talked about they possibly live together. But Zendaya wants to move. She doesn't want to settle. I'm picking up that she wants to move out of where she lives with him. She wants them to move somewhere like very peaceful and like quiet. She wants them to have a lot of privacy around them. I'm kind of looking at them moving away from like the city. Like I'm seeing this backdrop like as the city, and Zendaya like I don't know if she wants to move to the UK or she wants, because I know that Tom is from the UK, so I'm wondering if she wants to move to the UK or move to another, just in general, move to another country. I know she's very family oriented, and I feel because I've read on her before, guys, so I feel like she's very, also I feel that she's very family oriented. So I don't know if her family lives in LA or if they live in like, you know, where she grew up. Okay, she lives in Oakland. She used to live in Oakland, California. She grew up in Oakland. But I'm feeling somewhere like out of state. Like she wants to either get a house out of state with Tom or out of the country. So we could, I don't know if we'll find out about this, guys, but they are going to end up moving, or Zendaya will end up moving out of Hollywood. Especially when she settles down and has kids with, regardless, whoever, Tom, it's obviously gonna be with Tom, but you know, she wants to move like with Tom out of the country or out of the state. I'm feeling a big move for them. They're gonna be moving. So I got that random message, even though we're talking about how does she feel about him. Okay, so the first thing that I'm picking up on is the Six of Pentacles reverse. So I feel like she loves how, one of the things she loves about Tom is that he's very, this is kind of like, I don't know how to explain this. Okay, so she loves how he's very, more so this is his career. Like she loves how he doesn't like, just take anything, if that makes sense, or he doesn't give his attention to just anybody. She feels like he's very selective with who he gives his time and his money to, is what I'm hearing. It's not that Tom isn't a giving person. He's very kind. He's a very kind-hearted person. He would literally like give the shirt off of his back to someone that was in need, but it's talking about that he doesn't really give that energy just to anybody, though. It's like you have to earn that from him. He's very distrustful when it comes to people and their intentions, and he's very protective over her because he's coming out as like the King of Pentacles. He does have Taurus in his chart, so it's coming through in his energy that he moves a lot with his like Taurus energy, where yes, he'll be sweet and and like approachable, and he's not a jerk. You know what I'm saying, guys? Like if a fan comes up to her or him, he's very like, he knows how to act. He's very professional. That's what I'll say. He's very professional. He doesn't embarrass her. He's very protective over her. He cares about her. He supplies, like if she needs anything, if she even wants anything, from him, he'll get it for her. Or she's like, oh, I saw this, I was looking at this and it's really cute. Like he pays attention to like details with her, but it's also talking about with his public, the way she respects him is like, it's so sweet. Like she loves how he's very protective over his energy, and her, of course, but like his energy, like he doesn't just give that to anybody. And it doesn't matter if you're even if you're a fan, like he's one of those people, even though he's sweet to the fans, like if they're, let's say like Zendaya wanted to, she was eating with her family, right guys? If a fan is being disrespectful and is demanding her energy or demanding his energy, he's not afraid to stand his ground and be like, just because I'm in this public platform doesn't mean that it's okay to intrude my boundaries. He's very Gemini in that way, where he's not afraid to tell people, not just fans or like the public, like he'll tell the public like, hey, back off, like respect our boundaries, respect Zendaya, respect me. Like he's very guarded and like protective over her. And he doesn't just allow any entitled energy to come in and disrupt what they have, or disrupt his peace, or disrupt what he's doing, including like maybe his agent or people in the industry. Like she goes to Tom for a lot of like, even though Zendaya's been in the industry for a minute, it's talking about that she still leans on Tom to like help her when it comes to like her boundaries, and something that doesn't make sense to her, she'll like go to him for that. She doesn't always need it, but she'll lean on him. And because Zendaya has a hard time looking like the bad guy, so Tom will look like the bad guy for her. He's not afraid to be like, hey, okay, she said enough. You know what I mean? Like Tom will do that. Like he's not afraid to look like the asshole. So he'll do that a lot for her, which is really sweet, because Zendaya doesn't like looking like an asshole, is what I'm hearing. Like she does, and it makes sense. She has all that Cancer, and she has Libra, like her Mercury's in Libra. So, Mercury and Libras, they don't want to say things that would make them seem mean or ungrateful, or I mean, they may do it in a passive aggressive way. Mercury and Libras tend to be very passive aggressive. So if they don't like something, and her Virgo doesn't help this, and her Cancer. So she has like, Zendaya has like a lot of passive energy, not saying that she doesn't stand up for herself, but this is something through Tom, like he's taught her, like it's okay to stand up for yourself. It's okay to say no to things. It's okay to put your boundaries up and to look like the asshole sometimes because you need to. So I'm feeling like Tom has taught her that, to not feel guilty for putting your boundaries or your limitations up, or for not saying, you don't need to say yes to everything, or you don't need to overwork yourself, because I feel like the King of Pentacles, it's Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo energy, and it's talking about that it's okay to take a break and have enjoy what you've worked hard for, enjoy what you've manifested, enjoy just be present in where you are. And they both help each other with that. I feel like Tom struggles with this part a little more than Zendaya. I think Zendaya is able to be a lot more present and humble, and Zendaya keeps Tom humble too. Like I'm gonna say that Zendaya keeps Tom humble, because I don't know, with that Gemini energy, it could be kind of a little aggressive and abrasive. Like he could be, he could rub people the wrong way sometimes. Like even with his humor, like he doesn't mean to be like a full-on asshole, and he's English. English people are just blunt. You know what I mean? They're very, very blunt. And he's a Gemini, so he's very blunt, and he's not afraid to tell people to fuck off. Like, he's not afraid to do that, and I'm seeing that in his energy. And I feel like Zendaya's had to tell him, like, I feel like she's had to make him, like, calm down with that and be a lot nicer. I don't know. I'm going to say that, guys. Let me know if you guys see it or if you feel it like I do. But I feel like she's had to tell or help him, curtail his bluntness. Like, I feel like he's very blunt. And she's like... Hey guys, I am laughing so hard at this part because I wish you guys could feel Tom's energy. Like, I know that it's been a thing about him being protective over Zendaya, so like, and I knew that going into this reading. I want to be very honest with you guys. I obviously knew that because like, I've seen like a quick video of him being protective, but I didn't know that he was this fucking protective over her and this fucking... sorry about my language, but this silly over her. It's like, I want to kind of explain it because yes, he's protective, but he still picks and chooses his battles, but he also does it to be an asshole, to be funny, like to be a funny asshole, like unless of course she's like very, unless Zendaya is in danger, of course, and he's not. But I wish you guys could feel how he is. Like, it's so funny. Like, he's very English. Like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I'm very lucky right now to be around somebody that's English, so I know how their humor is, and he has the same type of humor as this person that I know in my life. Now granted, they are not the same zodiac sign, so they do it differently, but Tom's is very Gemini. Like, sometimes he'll do it just to be like funny, and Zendaya just thinks he's hilarious. Like, I don't know how to explain it, guys. He's just an asshole on purpose sometimes just to see what people are gonna do. And Zendaya is just always very politically correct, and Tom is just like, I'm gonna do whatever I want, bloke. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, if I want to act this way today, I'm gonna act this way. If I want to, be serious, be, in my head, I'm gonna be like this, moody. If I want to be a child, I'm gonna be a child. Like, he just goes with his moods. And Zendaya tries to structure her moods, even though she does have a lot of water. She's very protective over her emotions and how people are seeing her. And Tom doesn't care. Like, he's like, whatever, I'm gonna just do this. I'm gonna just act this way. Guys, he's very unconventional and she's very conventional, but he still has conventional values and beliefs and traditions like she does, because he has Taurus, so we have to keep that in mind. But he also likes to be out of the box, rebel. He loves to be a rebel and just not take himself seriously, but also taking himself seriously. It's totally weird. And I also too wanted to address, maybe I don't know if I went into this, I'm still editing, but he's not really threatened by her fame, guys. Like, I don't know. I feel like he likes to have fun with it, but he doesn't like when people become intrusive. That was the most thing I felt about her fame that can rub him the wrong way. But he has his own level of goals that he's doing and focusing on himself, and Zendaya makes sure to to talk to him and to make sure that he doesn't feel overshadowed by her, because she does understand that her fame is a lot. She does. So I wanted to address this in this part of the reading because I don't think I went into a lot of details about this part. I didn't feel that Tom was threatened by her fame. I didn't feel that. I think at times, of course, it can be a little too much when people become overly when they start feeling entitled to her or his energy. That's when he gets mad. That's when he starts being like, this is a little much, okay, now I'm having an issue. But I didn't really feel like he feels overshadowed by her, which is really cool to feel that. He's very confident in himself. And if anything, they very much complement each other and they support each other. And I think that's why this connection is working, is because they're not getting, more so Tom, he's not getting up his ass about her fame. He's not. I think if that does happen at any point, they'll talk about it. They'll go back to the drawing board and talk about it. That's what I kept feeling about this connection. It was a very special connection. I haven't felt this level of maturity, but also playful and childlike energy in a while, especially from a young couple. They feel almost older, to be honest with you guys. Not saying that they still don't have their problems or that conflict can't still arise. But for the most part, you guys, they're doing pretty good. They feel healthy, and they feel like they weren't always healthy. They've worked through that. And I'm very
I'm very proud to feel this connection. Thank God, finally a fucking Hollywood couple that is getting it right. You know what I mean, guys? I'm so excited. You guys know I would say if he was feeling threatened or anything, so, or if they were having problems, I would say it. And they have had problems, but they're working through it, you know? Anyway, guys, I'm rambling. Let's get back into the reading. I just wanted to say this part. And yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying it. Bye.
Zendaya's like, babe, can you... That was kind of rude, the way you said that. Because Virgos are very, you know, they're politically correct a lot of times. And I feel like, you know, Tom helps Zendaya to color outside the lines. Because she does feel very, like, safe and structured. And, you know, very... she hyperfixates on her persona, and she doesn't mean to, but she hyperfixates with it, even though she seems like with her Aquarius, like, you know, she doesn't care. But I also feel like Tom is like, people understand that you're a good person. Like, you don't need to over explain yourself. I don't know, I just feel like Zendaya over explains her intentions, and she loves that Tom doesn't, he gets her. Like, yeah, you know, it may have taken time, of course, because things take time to cultivate and to understand each other in a relationship. But for the most part, I feel like, you know, Tom has helped Zendaya to not feel the need to over-explain herself so much, or, you know, and to have fun and to be more spontaneous, you know, with the Four of Wands. Also, too, I feel like he proposed in a very, she loved the way he proposed to her. I'm not really picking up too heavily what it is, but he proposed to her in a very cute way, in a very unconventional way, and she liked it. But yeah, I'm also feeling like she loves that Tom allows her to not get like, he helps her to not be completely complacent with certain things, like as far as not her career, but with the way things are in her life. Maybe there are certain personal things that she's very complacent in, because she's safe in that. And he's like, it's okay to break your, you know, your routine in that way. It's okay to jump around and do this. Or even with chores, like maybe, you know, Tom jumps around and helps her with things, and he's just like all over the place, and Zendaya's like, no, we have to do it this way because this is what works. And I like that, you know. And so it's about them both like respecting each other's routine and boundaries within their routine, if that makes sense. Like, especially Zendaya being a Virgo, like, she's very used to how she does things, and she's codependent on the way she does things. It is talking about too that she's grown very codependent on Tom, but it doesn't feel like it's bad, you know. It's more of like, I lean on you, which for a Virgo to do that, that's hard, you know. It's very hard for a Virgo to trust. Even in a relationship, it can be very challenging for them to trust their partner completely, 100%, you know. But Zendaya has learned, she still is, you know, she struggles with this a little bit because she is so used to being, in a way, independent. But they've been together for so long that she doesn't know what it would be like if Tom wasn't in her life. Like, she loves him so much and is so loyal to him that, you know, she's like, I don't see me ever loving anybody else. I don't see me being with anyone else. Like, I want this to work. Like, you are my person. She is very sure, and she doesn't ask people for help like that. She doesn't rely on people like that. She's very used to doing things on her own. But now that she's in this healthy relationship with Tom, it's like she's become, you know, a homemaker to him, very codependent on him in that way. To, you know, I feel like they both have become very codependent on each other. Yeah, with the Death card reversed, it is talking about that she is ready for this transformation. She's anticipating, you know, she doesn't feel like much will change between them because they have been, we're just now catching up, guys, but they have been talking about marriage, talking about getting engaged, talking about, so now that it's happening and it's happened, it's just about us catching up and knowing that they're engaged, you know. But they've actually been in this energy for a minute. They've actually been engaged for a minute and have taken their time. And yeah, I feel like have really taken their time. I don't know if we'll get to see pictures of the wedding or whatever, or if Zendaya will post that. I'm really curious because she is very private. So I'm curious if she's going to post herself in her wedding dress, or if she's going to post them, you know, together. Like, they are coming out in public and they're being more expressive with their love, which is very beautiful. And that's what my oracle cards talked about as well. I didn't talk about this, but like, express your love. Like, they're not hiding that they're together anymore. They did take a, you know, a minute to really let people in to see that they were dating. You know, it took a while for people to for sure know that they were together, because they were protecting that. So I feel like too that they've been engaged for a minute, and we're just now catching up to that. Not too long. I don't feel too long that they've been engaged, but I feel like they've been engaged maybe for a year, you know, year and a half maybe. I also feel like Tom has Zendaya loves that Tom has allowed her to feel more like feminine, you know, because I feel like Zendaya is so used to feeling like a boss and like handling things, even though she does have this very delicate energy. When she's in work mode, she's very like in her boss energy, and you don't get that same, of course, that same energy that Tom gets, you know what I mean? But she's very much a homemaker, loves being present with him, loves taking care of him, and yeah, it's really cute. I feel like one thing that Tom loves about Zendaya is that, from what I'm getting right now, is that she's helped him let his guard down a lot. Like I said, guys, like, I feel like Tom does not trust people. Like, he knows, he could spot a snake in a grass, like, very quickly. He knows when someone's taking advantage of the people around him or people that he loves. Like, he don't put up with shit. He's coming out as the King of Swords, like, as very, like, with the Page of Swords, like, he really I feel like he's talking about his ego too, but I feel like he be keeping an eye out on people that got their, he's like very possessive over Zendaya. He's very possessive over her, but like, he tries not to be like crazy about it, but he's very like distrustful of people's intentions with Zendaya. Like, you know, he tries his best to be very protective over her, around her energy, just because he feels like a lot of people just want her time, her money, her energy, whatever. Have tried to come in between them. He's had to fight off a lot of people, you know, that have been, not even people that just wanted her, but just people that have been in her ear, because the Page of Wands is talking about like gossip, or, you know, people just trying to be like, you know, the tabloids or whatever that is, social media, trying to, you know, intrude their relationship a lot. And he's just very private about it. Like, he's very protective over what they're building, what they're doing, especially if they end up having children. He's gonna be even more like this. And I'm bringing that up because I'm feeling it in Zendaya's energy. I'm feeling it. I'm gonna say it, she gonna get pregnant. But yeah, I feel like when it comes to social media too, he's very protective over her image. He understands that her career means a lot to her. He's very supportive. And Zendaya too, she's very supportive of Tom. They're very supportive over each other's careers and how they both appear on social media and how they both appear to the public. Like, I feel like they're not afraid to tell each other like, hey, you were looking a little crazy, you know, or not that, you know, I don't think we've seen them look too bad, but, you know, I feel like they are both like not afraid to tell each other the truth. Like, that's one thing that I'm feeling from Tom too, that Zendaya be telling him about himself, and she keeps it real with him. Like, they go to each other for advice. They are friends. Like, they're both coming out as king and queens. That's beautiful. Tom is coming out as the King of Swords in his energy, Gemini. No, the King of Swords could be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Zendaya is coming out as the Queen of Swords, Aquarius, like I said, Aquarius, Libra, Gemini energy. So they tell each other about each other, and they keep it real. They're very blunt. They're very honest with each other. If something is, you know, Tom loves that about Zendaya. Like, she doesn't really hide things from him. She's very honest. She's to his face about things, and she's really built his trust. She's caused him to let his guard down. He really likes that about her. She's very funny. She's playful. I also feel like they have very animated conversations, back and forth conversations, quick conversations, because I feel like they're both busy a lot of times, but they always try to make time for one another. And I feel like they do like to go out and just have fun, you know, like they like to go out on trips, excursions, spontaneous date nights, keeping the relationship very lighthearted. And they do have, of course, like very serious moments, because they're both coming out as air energy, where they both lock in. And if they are not trusting each other, or if something's going on in their relationship, or if there's, you know, some questioning, they do talk about that, which I am seeing in their cards, that through Tom's energy there has been some distrust, or, you know, with but this, it feels like it was in the past where he's had to like really work through his trust issues. So I don't know if Tom has been cheated on, or maybe Tom's cheated and Zendaya has had to tell him, you know, talk to him and overcome that with him. Or, you know, I don't feel like Zendaya cheated or that she's a cheater or anything. And I honestly feel like, you know, maybe they've just talked about like if one of them were to cheat or step out or whatever, how would they go about that. But it feels like, honestly, I'm gonna say this, it feels like Tom has been, he was either cheated on or maybe he cheated, but I don't know. It feels like there's been some talks of cheating, or the other one thinking the other one cheated, or there of course being fear of cheating. I did get my oracle card where it talked about them learning to let go and forgive, so, and learn from each other, right? But they've been overcoming some distrust or some, you know, distrustful energy around them. It doesn't necessarily mean, guys, that one of them stepped out. It could just mean that one of them was cheated on. Now this obviously could be also Zendaya. Zendaya could have been cheated on from her past relationships, and it's about Tom wanting to earn that trust from her and not being afraid to do that, or to earn her trust back. Yeah, so that's what I'm picking up on. That's how he feels about her so far, is that he feels like she's very like smart too, like she doesn't miss a beat. I feel like yeah. I also feel like Tom likes how clean Zendaya is. Like, I feel like Zendaya is very tidy, which would make sense because, and her cooking and her, you know, how she keeps the house neat, how she keeps herself up. He loves how she is very confident with the Queen of Swords. This is more detailed than freaking Zendaya. But Tom loves how she communicates. He loves how smart she is. He loves how she's always seeking to learn more. And even, I don't know if Zendaya's talked about wanting to, you know, broaden her education, or she just reads a lot. Like, he loves that about her. He loves that she's always trying to learn something new or sharpen her skills, whether that be in her acting, singing, whatever she's doing, she tries to be the best at. And he also loves that she wants to get his opinion on things, or they want to or that they collaborate on things. Like, they're very much that couple that love collaborating on things, love getting each other's opinions, love even having, maybe they even love having house parties or inviting people, like family gatherings, maybe not house parties, but like family or friend gatherings. Yeah, they communicate a lot. They always are speaking. They're always together. They're always, you know, he loves that. I would also say that he loves how committed she is to her craft. He loves how when she says she's going to do something, she does it, and she sees it all the way through. She doesn't half-ass things. He admires her commitment and her drive to things. I also feel like he loves that she is trusting. Like, she gives people the benefit of the doubt. Like, you know, Zendaya feels like she loves how guarded, you know, and protective Tom can be over himself, and that he's not so quick to give all of his energy to somebody. He lets people earn his trust, right? Zendaya can be like that too, but she's more like understanding, I would say, of people, and has more patience for people than he does. And I feel like they both have taught each other that in different ways. I'm seeing that they did break up at one point, but they learned from the breakup. Like, they allowed each other to break up. I keep getting that, guys, that they allowed each other to break up. They allowed each other to go through their trials and their tribulations, and they worked through those separately, and they end together. They worked, you know, as much as they could. And then I feel like too, they couldn't really stay away from each other that long, because as I said, that the Nine of Cups, they couldn't really stay away from each other long without, you know, thinking about the other one. And I feel like Tom, whenever he's not with her, he thinks about her a lot, or he gets little things for her, or roses or whatever. He's always like getting her stuff. Like, it's cute. Or like telling her, oh, you look so good, oh my god, girl. Like, I'm not gonna even do his accent, but I feel like he's like, oh, you know, you look so good, like, you're so beautiful, oh my god, Zendaya. I'm just kidding. But definitely I feel like they have a lot of attraction and sexual attraction, and I feel like, you know, Tom finds her, of course, she finds him hot. They both find each other equally hot and are very attracted to each other. I feel like I spent more time on Tom because a lot more of how he feels came out. So I feel like, you know, Zendaya's a lot more like just private. She would rather like show how she feels about Tom than, you know, she is expressive over how she feels about him, but she's more of a person that is like, I want to do things like, so her love language is probably acts of service. I'm looking at the 5 love languages just to make sure that I get this right. I feel like Zendaya is, to me, she feels like more of like quality time, acts of service, and I even want to say gift giving. But I'm feeling, and probably physical touch too. She's probably all of these because she's very like intuitive, in tune with herself. She has like a lot of water, so I wouldn't put it past her to have all 5 of these. But I'm feeling more so she leans on acts of service and quality time, physical touch, I would say too. Tom feels more of like words of affirmation, receiving gifts, and physical touch. That's what it feels like to me. Okay, so guys, the next question is their relationship for PR? I'm going to say no. Their relationship is not for PR. I actually got my Ace of Pentacles card in the reverse, letting me know no, it's not. And they've actually overcome a lot of people thinking this and people saying this about them. Not that they're trying to prove anything to anybody, you know what I mean, guys? Like, the 6 of Wands and the 6 of Swords is talking about that there's been a lot of, like I said, I keep wanting to refer back to my learning and unlearning card, or learning and forgiving card, but they've had to work on their relationship, really work on it, because they've overcome some not too heavy things, but they had to really work on themselves separately and heal, and they allowed themselves time to do that. So there was a moment where they spent time apart, and now they have come together and worked and overcome, because the 6 of Wands talks about overcoming, and done it away from the spotlight with the Star card in the reverse. I want to notate this card too. I got the Ace of Pentacles and the Star card reverse, telling me that their relationship is not for PR. They have worked through this. We would actually be surprised to know all the stuff that they've actually gone through, and people would be like, I would have just like, you know, I don't know how y'all did that. I couldn't do that. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of that. It feels like they really work through their relationship, work through the miscommunications, work through the baggages that they've had, not just with each other, but in their own stuff, you know, and done the work and taking, I'm going to keep saying that, guys, and taking the time to, like, if they need to be single for a minute, being single, and they took that time, not feeling like they spent too long apart, but it feels like they took time to, like, even without each other, work on themselves, maybe even go to a therapist, or, you know, suggested marriage counseling or couples counseling, whatever. They are willing to do that work even throughout their relationship. They're willing to do that work, is how the energy feels right now. Now, could this energy change? Absolutely. There are things that could tear them apart that I hope not, but there are things that could change this energy. But as of right now, the way it feels is that they are willing, with the 6 of Wands, to work through any and everything that comes their way, because they love each other that much. And if they need to separate from the industry to get their relationship on track, they will. If they need to go back into private to do that, they will. They're not afraid to look, you know, I want to say not look single, but they're not afraid to take a step back and reevaluate, recenter their relationship, is what I feel. Recenter themselves mainly too. And they are also about their mental health. I feel like, and I love feeling this from Mercury influenced people, like they're not afraid to, work on their mental health, talk about even things outside of themselves, outside of their relationship. They love talking about like worldly stuff too. I feel like they both like reading. I feel like they both like reading articles or reading things on online and having debates or like discussions about it, and like really teaching and helping each other to elevate in their knowledge. And I feel like with Zendaya, you have to really be stimulating, and Tom too, of course, but like Zendaya, you have to like bring some type of intellectual conversation. Zendaya doesn't feel like a shallow person to me. She feels like she loves talking about deeper issues, family issues. She's big on that. Like, okay, we have this family issue. that we need to work through, right? Like, she feels like she's big on that, like her mental health, her health. And it feels like to me that she's inspired Tom to get more in tune with himself, and inspire Tom to get more in tune with his mental health and putting his mental health first, which can be very hard for a Gemini to do that, because Geminis are very all over the place, always in their head, chaotic at times, chaotic with their thoughts, and just kind of say whatever they want and just keep it pushing. Like, they don't really like dwell on things. And I feel like Zendaya has allowed Tom to have that peace of mind to slow down and really think about things that he feels, and not just brush it under the rug. And same with her, like Zendaya does it in a different way where she'll suppress, and I feel like they both can kind of suffer from this a little bit, but they've challenged each other to speak about things that are uncomfortable. I still feel like they're working on being more solidified in this energy, because it is an energy that can be very hard to, maintain in a relationship, and it takes work. You know what I mean, guys? Like, communication, being on the same page, aligning, that takes work, and it feels like they're trying to do that. With the World card in the reverse, it's telling me that, basically, no, they're not just a karmic connection. Like, they are supposed to be together. They are supposed to elevate each other and learn from each other, and live in this lifetime, and meet each other, and just be each other's safe space, that's what it feels like to me. They want to be each other's safe space. It's so beautiful, guys. Like, yes, I'm not going to say that their relationship is perfect. There's definitely been some healing and trust that's been needing to be built over time, of course, and past stuff that they brought into their relationship from previous people that they've dated. So they've, of course, had to overcome that, which is the Six of Wands is talking about, overcoming those adversities, overcoming those traumas. So yeah, that's what I'm feeling. I don't feel like they're a PR relationship. It does not feel like that whatsoever. And people want what they have, but they don't understand what they exactly had to do to cultivate, to keep this dynamic that they have. And I feel like if people really were in their relationship, they would see how much work they've done to have this connection, and how they will continue to do this work. You know what I mean? And it feels like they are ready to do that. They are basically, it feels like they're equipped to handle anything almost that will come their way. That's what it feels like to me. And if they were PR, I wouldn't feel that. Guys, I'm gonna say this, but I feel like I keep feeling pregnancy around Zendaya. I don't know if this is gonna be right now, but I am feeling pregnancy around her. So just gonna say that. Can you guys see Zendaya being a boy mom or a girl mom? Let me know, guys. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys see Zendaya being a boy mom or a girl mom. So the other question that I have is, why are they keeping their engagement private? I keep getting the energy that they just want to keep their personal life personal, and they just want it, they want to separate. Even with each other, when they come home, they don't talk about work too much. Like, maybe they'll talk about like an exciting project or how the day went on the set, but they don't they don't bring work home with them, is what I'm feeling. Like, they love to leave that at the door and just have fun in their relationship, and watch movies or do whatever, read or whatever they do, their hobbies, and just be with each other, and be present with each other. Like, I feel like they're both very big on that. So that translates into their careers and what we know about them. Like, they don't want a lot of people in their business, and especially given both their status, and how, especially, I would say, obviously Tom could fly under the radar a little more than Zendaya, but I feel like Zendaya, can't fly under the radar like that. So they're both very protective over their dynamic. They're both very protective over their union. When they have kids, it's going to be more like that. We're not really going to see Zendaya like that. We'll see her pop out in a movie, and we'll see her promote the movie. We'll see Tom do the same thing. And they'll probably bring their kids on the red carpet, which would be cute, to see that. But I feel like that's gonna take a little time for them to do that. They're gonna do it slowly. But I feel like we will see their children, but they're not gonna be posting them on like social media. Like Zendaya, like, I feel like she's big about that. Like, she's like, nah, like, if I have kids, like, unless they wanna like act or something, like, she's open to that. I feel, but I feel like they're not really gonna show their kids like that either. Like, we're really not gonna see their kids. And I said kids. But yeah, basically, guys, they're just very protective over their marriage. Even with their wedding, I feel like they're gonna be very protective. Maybe Zendaya will show herself in her gown or something, like her wedding dress, but I feel like they're not really gonna broadcast their marriage like that. We're probably not even gonna really know what the wedding looked like. But I feel like full on what the wedding looked like, unless like, I feel like magazines are gonna want to cover it. Let me look into if they'll be open about their marriage, because I'm curious. Like, I could totally be wrong and they'll change their mind, but Zendaya's very private. So I mean, Tom, he may be a little open to showing some things, but I feel like Zendaya is just very, very private. So I don't really see her showing a lot. So she may show a little bit, but not like a lot. Guys, I'm pulling on, will they show us anything about their marriage, or will we hear anything? I'm already getting the Nine of Wands. If you look, see, it came back out again in the pre-shuffle. Nine of Wands, if you guys know, you know. So that's basically telling me that they're going to be very guarded, very like an exclusive guest list. Like, everything's gonna be very exclusive. Okay, we're not really gonna hear much about their wedding. I even see them possibly contemplating doing it overseas, like maybe in Tom's hometown, like them doing it in the UK, and just like maybe somewhere in I don't know if Zendaya wants to have like a wedding in Paris or something like that. I'm hearing something like that, like in Europe. Like, I feel like they may not, it's going to be like a destination wedding. Even maybe Bali. I don't know if she wants to do something in Bali. I'm hearing overseas, like they want to do an overseas wedding, or they're talking about doing an overseas wedding, because they want to keep it very low key and private. I feel like with the invites and the invites, the guest list, I'm hearing the celebrities that are going to show up, their families, everything is going to be very low key. It feels like very low key, and they're probably not going to let a lot of media in to cover their wedding. Photographers like have security. They're gonna have security like search the pockets of people. Like, probably won't be able to bring your phone in. Now, of course, if they choose to show that, it's on their terms, but you know, and they may show a few photos, like have professional photographers, like, you know, I can see Zendaya showing her dress or showing the designer that she worked with. That's probably as far as we'll see as her wedding dress and Tom's suit, or like, of course, we see the ring. But we're only gonna get like tidbits. I won't say that it's gonna be completely exclusive, because I feel like people are gonna get drone shots, or like I see paparazzi. It's not funny, but I see paparazzi doing like drone shots, or you know, they're gonna try to not have somebody, you know, only a very, very like a tight-knit guest list, you know. And I'm talking putting your phone away. Like, you're not gonna be able to have your phone out like that, unless you're like the mom, or you know, the maid of honor, somebody like that. Like, only people that they really trust. Like, Tom is very about that too. Like, I've already said that Tom is very distrustful of people, so I feel like he's gonna be, even when Zendaya has her baby, oh my god, yeah, we're not. As I'm paying attention to my death card, I'm seeing that they're gonna do it over, I keep feeling overseas. There's definitely gonna be like, I feel like, I don't know if Tom's religious, but I feel like Zendaya is very religious. She's gonna have her dad, I don't know if her dad was a pastor or something, or if there's a pastor that she's very specific on giving, you know, doing their vows. You know, it's gonna be, maybe the wedding's even gonna be like very spiritual, or yeah, I don't know, Zendaya is very spiritual, but I feel like it's gonna be very religious, like based, and maybe even in the church, maybe they'll do like their wedding in a cathedral or something like that, is what I'm hearing. Very sacred type of church, or just, you know, setting, like where they're choosing is very like spiritual or sacred. It definitely feels like it could be half outdoors, half not. Like, maybe, you know, the party will be outdoors, of course. Everybody will get to party outside. And inside, it will start off in a cathedral, in a church, and then it will lead outside to them celebrating. And, you know, because there's a sense of tradition that Zendaya wants to have with the wedding. Like, she does have cancer, so it's about, you know, maybe she's gonna have her dad of course, give her away, or her mom, like, give her something very valuable, or maybe it's a dress that, or she's gonna sew something into the dress that is her mom's, or she's gonna have very traditional in it, or it may just be something that they're doing, you know, maybe like she's gonna jump the broom or something, you know, maybe she's gonna hold true to her black roots and she's gonna jump the broom, or she's gonna have something very traditional that carried into her, that was in her childhood. She's gonna bring that into her marriage and her wedding. Also, maybe some vows or some, you know, scriptures. It's gonna, more so the scripture, excuse me, scriptures. Maybe she's gonna have some type of scripture that she's gonna say in her vows or something like that. And then I'm seeing children around her, guys. I keep feeling children for Zendaya, and I don't know, I'm not picking up on a gender yet, but she might have a little girl. I'm not feeling if this is gonna be her first child yet, but I'm definitely feeling a girl for her. I feel like they're going to be like trying to keep on a budget, but I feel like they're going to spend money on this wedding, especially if it's a destination wedding like I'm picking up on. It might be a destination wedding, but I feel like they're going to spend money, bro. Yeah, I keep feeling, because I'm getting the Chariot again, and I'm getting the Eight of Pentacles, Knight of Swords. Tom is going to be, they've been busy, of course, with their work schedules, but I feel like Tom is going to be going overseas for a job. Or this could be Zendaya, but I feel like, you know, they're very much in work mode. It is talking about them needing to balance their marriage, though. They're going to need to balance their marriage and continue to hear the other one out and be present in the marriage. What everyone wants to know, will their marriage last? So I wanted to pull some oracle cards, some love oracle cards for their ending reading, and some advice, you know, if they want to take it, whatever. So I do feel like this relationship, which was the question, will their marriage last? Their relationship, their marriage, very well, has a very good chance of lasting. I did get some really good cards. Now it is talking about letting go of control issues, that they both struggle with control issues in this way. Now, you know, they both have Earth in their chart. Tom has Taurus in his chart, which Tauruses can be control freaks, okay? They can be control freaks. His Gemini tries to not, you know, tries to adapt to a person, and because it's mutable, so it tries to adapt. But with his Taurus, he gets set in his ways and he gets stubborn with things, and he does like things his way, so it's about him learning to let go of that. And I did kind of talk about that. Zendaya has the same problem where she likes her routine, she likes things, her being a Virgo, she likes structure, she likes, and her Taurus moon, she likes things being a certain way, she likes living in her comfort zone. These two kind of can be, you know, they struggle both with needing things to go their way exactly. And I'm wondering too if they're gonna do like an interview together, or if, you know, those interviews where they're not really interviews, but those videos where they're like, oh, how well do you know your partner, or something like that. I'm wondering if they're gonna do that, because I'm really curious if they're gonna come out a little more once they're married and like do something like that. That'd be really cool to see them do that. I'm wondering if they've been approached already and they've been like, nah, or not right now, you know. So I'm wondering if in the future we're gonna see a video like a GQ. I think GQ does this, where they do a game with the couples. You guys know what I'm talking about? I keep seeing that, so I'm wondering if they've already done it or if they're gonna do it. But anyway, it is talking about letting go of control issues, and that if they don't let go of their control issues, and if they don't remember to keep the playfulness in their relationship alive, because they're both very playful, but they can also both be very serious. I feel like Zendaya gets in her head and her emotions a lot, and she harbors things, and you know, that's part of how she controls things. Especially, she loves to control her emotions too. You know, she likes to be in control of her emotions. She likes to be in control of her environment, of her situation, of this, you know, of the way things unfold. And they're both having to let each other, they're both learning. I feel this is not, you know, one doing this more than the other. I feel like they're both learning to let go of trying to control the narrative of things, including in their relationship and their careers. I feel like their careers, you know, can stress them out a lot, and I feel like when things don't go well, they kind of have a hard time like dropping that and letting it go. I feel like more so Zendaya, like I feel like she harbors things that go wrong, maybe on set or in her life, and you know, Tom is helping her with that too. So I am feeling that could be an issue. Also too, I keep feeling like boredom in their relationship, more so on Tom's end. So I think he just needs to be aware of always needing to be stimulated. Not saying that he's going to cheat, but I feel like he just needs to be aware of that. Like just needing things to always be exciting and out of routine, because Zendaya does feel like she needs that. So he's learning to not control the narrative in that way too, of things needing to be spontaneous. A lot of times, even though he does like structure and he can be somewhat of not liking surprises, you know, he likes to know what he's getting himself into, so he could be controlling in that way. But I feel like as long as they learn to let go of their control issues, I feel like they have a very good shot at working. And also to not forgetting the playfulness, like I said, the chemistry, and that they are friends, you know, they have cultivated their relationship. And I think that's something that even if they did break up, if they did divorce, they would try to hold true to their friendship and at least try to make it work and be in each other's lives and co-parent. But I do see them overcoming, because I did get the Six of Wands, I do see them overcoming a lot of their adversities, and zeroing in on their problems. And if they do have problems, I do see them going outside themselves, like maybe a pastor, or like maybe Zendaya would encourage that. I'm not sure if I'm not really feeling a very heavy spiritual or religious energy from Tom, but I feel that more from Zendaya. So I feel like she's getting him on that same page maybe. But I feel like they will overcome things. And also too, it's about the communication and you know, having time to communicate and to always be on with their communication. That's something that I feel like, you know, could be a little challenging at times, because their schedules do get very busy. So that doesn't mean that the conversations have to be serious. It's about them, you know, checking in with each other. And they're really good about this right now. But even when they get really comfortable, it's about remembering that you guys chose each other, and that you guys chose each other, and you choose each other every day, and you guys are friends, you know, more than you are lovers too. And it's okay to fall back onto the friendship as well if you guys need to, and keep that playfulness alive, and not forgetting that you guys once considered each other like soulmates, and not losing that romanticism in that. And I don't see that happening with them. I feel like with my chemistry card, they will always keep that, even through their problems and their control issues. Or, you know, the control issues is the one thing I feel like they both have a hard time of letting go of, because they both like things a certain way, and they both can be very stubborn and not very lenient and forgiving with certain things. So I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like Zendaya zeroes in on their problems, and she's like, no, we need to fix this, because, you know, what the fuck, you know? Like Zendaya is, you know, just her being more hyper aware too. And, you know, just us women, we're just hyper aware of everything. We're, even in our relationships, every little thing we're like, okay, we need to fix this, you know? So it's about them learning to relax, and to just relax and rely on the friendship and the chemistry that they already have been cultivating and have, and they will be victorious. They will be able to overcome every and anything, because they have that foundation already built. So guys, I'm gonna say, I feel like they're gonna last for a good minute. They are going to last. I feel like, I don't, as of now, of course this can change, but I don't see them divorcing. I actually just keep seeing them build, and you know, for the naysayers, I see them overcoming that. And if there is distance and they are growing apart, I see them, you know, even being healthy with giving each other that space and then coming back together, because they've had to do that in their relationship. It's talking about that they've already gone through, I mean, of course they will still go through more stuff, but it's talking about that they have already gone through a lot of hard stuff that we can't even, you know, relate, you know, in this day and age. You know what I'm saying? The way couples get together nowadays is just, the way people love nowadays, You know, it's just ridiculous. Like Zendaya and Tom, they have that love, that commitment, that respect for each other, that friendship, and they lean on that when they are not doing well, or when they're not aligning, you know, and they want this to work. I don't feel like, you know, I feel like they both want this to work, and they both don't see each other without, you know, they both don't see them being separate from each other. So that's beautiful. I'm gonna say, guys, that I do feel like their marriage will last for a while. Like, even if they end up, let's say this energy switches and they end up divorcing, I feel like they would end up remarrying, and even if they dated separate people. I feel like they would end up remarrying, especially because I feel children around Zendaya with Tom. I do feel like she will have kids, and I even seeing Zendaya stepping away from Hollywood to save her marriage. Like, that's how committed she is to being a wife, not just with Tom, but just being a wife. Like, she saw a beautiful dynamic growing up. I feel like she saw love, even if I don't feel like her parents are divorced. You guys know, are Zendaya's parents divorced? I can't remember if they were divorced, but regardless, like, she saw even if they were divorced, they tried to co-parent for their children. They tried to keep the marriage alive, as far as like respect goes. And even if they were together, they kept the marriage alive. They didn't fight in front of Zendaya and her siblings. You know, they didn't do that, you know. So Zendaya wants to carry that tradition. Like, when her and Tom have kids, she doesn't want to fight in front of her kids. You know, she wants to really zero in and work on things, and she's very dedicated to her friends, to her family. She's very family oriented. She wants that. Zendaya wants to be a mom. She wants to be a wife. I don't know if she's talked about this in her interviews, guys, but I feel like this is something that she's been wanting, and she's ready for it. And that's what it feels like to me. She's ready to be a wife. She's ready to have kids. She's ready to settle down. She's ready to, because she's already cultivated her career, and now it's about moving, because I did get my death card, guys, which is talking about moving into a newer transformation that is going to help you to evolve and better you. And it may be a little painful, and there may be things that, you know, kind of get lost along the way because you had to let them go, right? So she's shedding old Zendaya as she steps into this newer energy, and she's welcoming it. And Tom is welcoming that energy with her, and he's encouraged her as well. I feel like Tom has encouraged Zendaya to not be afraid to, you know, because I do feel like even though Zendaya was putting her career first because she wanted to make sure that was set, she always kept it in the back of her mind, okay, I don't want my career to overtake my life. You know, I want to be able to have a good balance, because I do want these things, you know. I do want to be a wife. I do want to take care of someone. I want to be a mom. I want to nurture. I want to nurture something bigger than myself. I want to have purpose outside of myself, right? And take care of something. So I'm gonna say, guys, because of that, and because of their will to make things work, and Tom feels like he's ready, and he has Mars and Taurus. Let's not forget, he has Mars and Taurus, which he holds true to his values and his beliefs and his traditions and the way he's seen his parents grow up, but also still having fun. I think if they keep that playfulness, and that doesn't always mean, you know, like, oh, we're gonna go on these spontaneous trips, we're gonna be playful in that way, or we're gonna be exciting in that way. No, it's about, let's watch things that make us laugh, that bring, like, let's act like children together. Let's have that inner, like, let's be big kids together. That's what it feels like to me. As long as they keep that, then they're like, we're not going to go wrong in this connection, because we know that we are each other's person, and we choose each other every day. I wouldn't even be surprised if Zendaya said that, or if they both said we choose each other every day, and that's what it takes to make something work. It is talking about that they're learning and they understand both what it takes to make a relationship work. I feel like Zendaya really has helped Tom to mature as well. And you know, I'm not saying that, you know, they both had it all together. They're learning in real time, and they're learning the foundation of what it takes to make a relationship and a marriage work, right? Because a relationship is a relationship, but moving into a marriage, you know, and it's even talking about, I feel, seeking outside themselves to get that knowledge. Like, maybe they're speaking to, or they're around successful marriages, right? Or making sure that they're around successful marriages and doing the work and learning from those people, learning from, you know, their parents, you know, stuff like that. They both hold true to those values. I feel like because they both want the same thing in that way too, and they're growing into that, I feel like they'll last pretty long. Even if the marriage, if this energy switches, I do feel like they're gonna get remarried or they will get back together. We may not know about it, guys. They will keep it private. You know, they will most likely keep it private. If they end up divorcing, they will most likely try to keep that private as much as possible. Or if they try to get back together, or if they get back together due to this marriage, which I see it working, honestly, guys. But of course, you guys know that energy can shift. But as of now, I am seeing that they are going to last. And they're going to have kids together. I see that. Even if they do end up divorcing, I'm going to say that I feel like they are going to get back together. They will get remarried. So I also feel like they will co-parent very well. They will co-parent very well. And they will be those, like, they'll be that blended family that gets along and still wants to be in each other's lives. That's what it feels like to me, that they are not gonna, even if there is resentment, they will move past it and they don't stay mad at each other long. Zendaya actually can't stay mad at Tom because he's such a freaking, I don't know, I feel like he jokes in a very like blunt, like asshole type of way, but in a funny way. Like, I don't know how to explain it, guys. I hear the way he jokes and it's just like, I feel like Zendaya loves it. Like, I don't know. Sometimes she's like, really? But I don't know. I feel like she doesn't stay mad at him long. I feel like they don't really argue like heavy like that. Like, maybe bicker. I feel like they bicker, but it's like playful bicker, or it's like, okay, we're over it. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it feels like to me. Okay, guys. Well, that was my reading, my love reading on Zendaya and Tom. I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I was so excited to do this reading. So I hope you guys found it entertaining, and yeah, I'm so excited to see what happens with them, and I wish them nothing but the best. I'm so excited. Zendaya is definitely somebody I feel should get loved on, respected, treated like the queen that she is, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Swords that she is. So I feel like, you know, she deserves it. She deserves to better, you know, speak nice to her. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this reading. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell for when your bitch pull up. Ding ding, bitch. Okay. Also, guys, too, just wanted to say thank you guys for rocking with me this long. Happy 2025. I didn't say that in the beginning of my reading. This is my first actual reading from 2025. I decided to, of course, I know I said I was gonna post, and I'm still gonna do that. I'm gonna upload old readings, but I wanted to hop on here, of course, and do a current reading on what's been going on. And I hope you guys enjoyed this reading, and like I said, thank you so much for all of your love and support. It means the world to me. And thank you for rocking with me this long. Love and light. Namaste. Bye.